Shohei Ohtani is the best player in the world. This winter, though, Ohtani's contract with the Los Angeles Angels is up. He will have every team in the league lining up to sign him to a massive deal. But which team should Shohei sign for? Before we can answer that question, we first need to understand what Shohei is looking for in his next team.
Ohtani drives that one at the wall. Gone! Big fly, Ohtani-san!
Ohtani has time again reiterated his desire to play winning baseball and be a part of a contender in the latter part of the season. In an interview at the All-Star Game Media Day, Ohtani, through his translator, said, "It sucks to lose. He wants to win, so it gets stronger every year." This feeling does make sense though. The Angels are on track to miss the playoffs in all 6 of Ohtani's seasons in Los Angeles. The last time the franchise reached the postseason was in 2014. Someone as hardworking and competitive as Shohei would naturally want to compete with the best. So clearly, any team that has desires of acquiring Ohtani needs to be a contender already, or they need to have a clear pathway to becoming one soon. Then, there's the money part of it. While Shohei hasn't directly come out and said what his desires are financially, it's assumed that he could very well expect the most lucrative contract in baseball history. There are only so many teams with the ability and willingness to lay down a check of that size. There is, of course, the possibility that he turns down bigger monetary offers in order to sign with a team that he feels more comfortable with from a personal and professional perspective. But it's likely such an offer will still be in the record-breaking territory. Either way, teams are going to have to open up their wallets and pour out every penny they have if they want to sign Shohei. There's a team that perfectly fits both of these criteria, so stay tuned to find out who it is. So, now we know what Shohei is looking for in his future team. Let's look at where his peers think he'll end up. In a recent survey of nearly 100 MLB players conducted by The Athletic, nearly 60% felt he'd sign with the Dodgers. Around 11% believe he'll follow Mike Trout and call Anaheim his long-term home, and a further 7.2% each believe he's headed for the free-spending Padres or Mets, and 6.3% believe he'll be playing in Yankee pinstripes. The teams mentioned here are not surprising. They all have great cases they can make to Shohei. The betting odds do disagree slightly though. According to the odds at the time of this recording, the Angels are the clear favorite landing destinations for Ohtani, followed by the Dodgers, the Baltimore Orioles, and the San Francisco Giants. I don't completely agree with this at all, but stay tuned to the end of the video to see which team I think he should join. For now though, let's take a deep dive into each team and find out which one is best placed to land Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani drives that one. Is he looking to go back-to-back with his buddy Mike Trout? He is! And that's his first home run here this year at the Big A. Back-to-back swings. Trout giving Shohei the hat.
Listening to pretty much everyone around the league, it seems like the Dodgers are the favorite to sign Shohei. Ohtani has been on the Dodgers' radar ever since his days as a standout in rural Japanese high school baseball. This was more than 10 years in the past, during a time when Ohtani was known as Ohtani, and the concept of a player excelling as both a top-tier pitcher and hitter in the major leagues seemed like an unrealistic fantasy. The Dodgers being favorites to land Ohtani isn't new, however. In fact, they were the consensus pick to end up with Ohtani twice in the past. Both times, they failed to get an agreement across the line. It seems they will not be denied a third time. If you were paying attention to the Dodgers during this past offseason, you could have clearly seen that they are gearing up for a massive swipe at Ohtani. The Dodgers decided not to splash the cash and actually reduce their payroll, something you almost never see from them. They also weren't nearly as active as they have been in years gone at the season's trade deadline. The Dodgers are clearly saving up for that monster Shohei contract. The Dodgers also make sense from an Ohtani perspective. The Dodgers are a winning franchise. That's what they do. Sure, they've only won one championship in the last 35 years, but they've made the playoffs every year since 2013 and have been above 500 every year since 2011. They just keep winning and are always in the mix at the end of the season. Shohei could be the missing piece that solidifies them as a perennial contender for many, many years to come. The next few teams we're going to look at can be grouped together: the Mets, the Yankees, and the Padres. This is because they largely offer the same things. Teams that haven't had much success in recent history, are having mediocre to bad seasons currently, and have boatloads of money to offer. The Mets, under owner Steve Cohen, have shown a complete disregard for fiscal responsibility and have simply thrown money at all of their problems. Now, that didn't work this year, but the way in which they smartly navigated the deadline shows that there's definitely intention and intelligence behind all of the money. There's no doubt the Mets could be willing to offer Shohei more money than anyone else. The Padres, under owner Peter Seidler, have also proven to have loose purse strings, and should they decide to not extend and bring Juan Soto back, they will already have a massive wad of cash allocated in their budget. That's money that could be potentially used on Shohei's contract. Finally, there's the Yankees. The Yankees haven't been acting like the Yankees recently. Sure, there was a Garrett Cole signing, and they did ink Aaron Judge to a huge deal last offseason, but it seems like the days of spending with reckless abandon are in the past for the Yankees. or they've just been saving up to drop the big bag in front of Ohtani. The Yankees are certainly the most competitive of this group and have had the most success both recently and in the past. The team from the Bronx should definitely not be ruled out. According to the odds makers, the Baltimore Orioles are the third favorite to sign Ohtani. The Orioles are having a season from dreamland, it seems. Before the season started, the Orioles were predicted by many to finish last in their division and had the longest odds to win the AL East. ESPN had them as the 17th best team in the majors. The Orioles currently sit atop the AL East. In fact, they have the best record in the AL, and at the time of recording this, only the Atlanta Braves have a better record than them in the entire MLB. Fangraphs has their odds of making the playoffs at 95.1%. Quite the turnaround. So, the Orioles have the winning part secured, but I'm not sure just one season of winning will be good enough for Shohei. Sure, there will be immediate success, but the Orioles have just come out of a 6-year period where they failed to make the playoffs once. They had a mildly successful 5-year stint before that, but went 14 years without sniffing the playoffs before that. This is not a team that will be able to provide Ohtani with any assurances about future success. Plus, the Orioles ownership has been notoriously tight with money, so a mega deal is unlikely to be offered. We've spoken about 2 NL West teams already in this video, but there's a third that could be preparing to launch a surprise campaign to lure Shohei to California. That would be the San Francisco Giants. The Giants have been trying to make a splash in the free agent market for the past few years, and now while they've come close, we all remember the Aaron Judge saga, where they haven't quite managed to be successful. Perhaps all that heartbreak will be worth it if they can manage to land Ohtani. The Giants aren't known as big spenders typically, but they have shown a bit of an appetite to spend in recent years, and they seem more willing to shell out the big bucks if they really value the player. The Giants are also having a respectable season and have had plenty of success in the past. The Giants have won 3 World Series rings since 2010 compared to the Dodgers' 1. Let's not even compare their success to the Padres. In fact, outside of the Astros, and there are some big question marks here, no team has won 2 World Series rings since 2010, let alone the 3 that the Giants have. The Giants are sneakily an attractive prospect that could definitely not be ignored. All in all, when you break it down, it seems obvious which team Shohei should join. The East teams all have something of value for Ohtani. The Mets can offer more money than anyone else. The Yankees will give them the opportunity to join maybe the most storied franchise in the game, and the Orioles have a fun and exciting core that can be competitive in the next few years. Out west, despite their terrible season currently, the San Diego Padres have as much talent as anyone in the league, and the Giants have the right combination of money, desire, and competitiveness. However, none of them can come close to the pitch the Dodgers can give them. The Dodgers have the financial muscle to offer him pretty much anything that he wants. They have the team and the organization to ensure he'll be competing at the highest level for a long time. They even have a location advantage, as he wouldn't have to move too far from his current residence should he join the Los Angeles-based team. It seems rather obvious then. Shohei Ohtani should join the LA Dodgers. But where do you think he should go in the offseason? Let us know in the comments.